And a good Friday afternoon to you, Roger Hill of Wuthering Heights. This weather video is driven by 802cars.com. It represents 802 Toyota, Twin Cities Subaru, and 802 Honda. They're all located off of Exit 7 on Interstate 89. Full view of the country, a good portion of North America. We see generally the flow is kind of more of a westerly flow now, with trough of lower pressure pulling away. And we're going to see kind of a southwesterly flow around the Bermuda High. That's going to pinwheel several different disturbances, and that's going to be moving through the region. This is going to trigger showers and thunderstorms, and some locally hefty precipitation for this period. They're going to be amounts over 5 inches across portions of northern Vermont. Let's take a look at first the precipitable water, or PWATS. Okay, we're going to look at the precipitable water here. I'm going to run it back real quick. So this is technically valid today, and you can see a little bit of about 1 sigma, not a big deal in terms of standard deviation here. But we have a lot of this moisture. Now, the way to read this is 1 to 3 standard deviations. You're starting to get in 3, 4, 5, and that's really out of the more extraordinary, out of the normal. But we don't see anything like that except as maybe along about Wednesday or so. So keeping your eye on Vermont, this is going to be valid Friday night, Saturday morning. And using the left-hand panel here is the most recent run of the European computer model. So we're about neutral here, it looks like, as we get into a portion of Sunday, where it doesn't look like we're going to see any thunderstorms, but we could still have some scattered showers. Then we get a little bit of moisture that kind of works in with this particular wave. And you'll see a little bit of a decrease here. We get into those lighter blues. That's 1 sigma drier than normal. That's valid during the portion of Tuesday morning. And then we're right back into more moisture. And this is about 2 to 3 standard deviations right here. And that's on Wednesday afternoon. Now, once that goes on by, there may be a secondary frontal system, but now we're into those bluer colors. That's going the other way. This is drier than normal weather, generally fair weather. And this is going to be a very nice stretch, but this is quite a ways around the horn here as we get into basically Saturday and Sunday of this up-and-coming weekend. Now, another thing I want to show you here is a non-tropical low, I believe, or a subtropical low potentially. Kind of goes a little bit inland and kind of follows the coast and goes through southern New England. This is it here. And again, this is valid this afternoon at 2 o'clock. Keep your eyes on that. You'll see a little bit of a spin up right there off the Carolinas going into North Carolina. Works its way into the interior sections of Virginia. Kind of dumps out of New Jersey there across the Atlantic City region and then the south coastal region. That's all going to supply a lot of moisture, and that's going to be picked up and kind of sheared off by the jet stream and pushed into a good portion of New England. This is definitely looking like a very wet period. And again, this is the reason why we're going to see potentially greater than 5-inch amounts of precipitation, rainfall, in these areas around northern Vermont. Looking at the GFS ensemble centered on Montpelier, Vermont, you can see that we have just daily doses. Every day we have convection. Every day we're going to pop some showers and thunderstorms. The total amount of QPF looks like this. And you can see incrementally it just climbs and step ladders right back up. This is showing 2 inches. The European model is somewhere 2 to 3, maybe even 4 inches in some parts of the areas around north central Vermont. So centered on Montpelier, we got a lot of rainfall ahead. This is going to add to rivers and streams and increase soil moisture and whatnot. This is the Weather Prediction Center 7-day total QPF, and you can see that this is about what the European model is showing. They're indicating 1 inch, 2 inches, closer to 3 inches. The European's giving around 5 inches up in this area here, roughly east of the Champlain Valley and across the northern Green Mountains into Orleans County. Weighted temperatures look like this, about 3 to 6 degrees above normal, and that's for the next 5 days of the Meteorological Output Statistics, or MOS, and about 3 days later, again, running about 3 to 6 degrees above normal for this time of year. Reanalyzer looks like this, so we'll center North America, and you can see colder than normal temperatures up across northern Canada, down into parts of the upper Midwest. Much warmer than normal temperatures up in the Canadian archipelago, parts of Greenland, and so forth. Not a whole lot going on here to make note of. And the good news, no new tropical cyclones are expected over the next 5 days. This abbreviated weather video, thanks for watching. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights.